Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy, I guess we'll say good afternoon. That's what I should say. It is February 11th, and I want to start kicking this off again with the weekend prep and review like I did several years ago. So this is going to be the trades done in the small account mastery, and we're going to be starting off with starting at the beginning of the year. So you can see right here, if you're not familiar with TraderView, it's a very solid journaling platform. It does cost, I think I pay $30 a month, something like that, for the gold plan. But all you do is you upload your statement from your broker and it plots it all for you. And I'll show you some examples. But you can see as of right now, steady grind higher in a small account growing up. But yeah, I mean, no complaints as of yet. Some winners, some losers. And we can look at the stats as well. That's what's really cool about this as well. It breaks it down. So we go to details. So since January 1st, we've done a total of 35 trades, 25 winners, 9 losers, giving us a 71% win rate. Max consecutive wins is 6, max losses in a row is 2, average hold time for scratches of 4 days, losing trades, about 14 hours, winning trades, 2 days. One key thing is to know on your profit factor, this is your, I'll change the color, this is your risk to reward basically. So for every losing trade, or every trade, where my average is what it's saying is I make roughly 2.5 versus my 1 loss. So the risk reward is skewed positive for now. I mean, it's still early in the year. And we can break some of these trades down and we'll show it and talk about it. And then at the end of this, I'm going to do a quick overview of January. If I just go into January, there's a lot of trades there and it's going to take a while. But we'll do a quick review in January. And then we'll cover February. And this is something I'm going to be doing every weekend now. And then I'll show a few setups I'm watching heading into next week and kind of how I am planning to trade for the next week. All right, so like I said, so here is overall since January. Now let's go ahead and go to the calendar, and we'll look at January. So you can see some small days, some larger days, some losses. You know, it's a pretty good overall positive. Nothing like super crazy, but let's just like look at, so what are some of our worst days here? Let's see here. Okay, so we opened, like it says right here, we opened a SPX position, but we didn't close it because it would tell us it was closed. And we took a loss on McDonald's, we closed it, and we did a quick hits trade with ES futures options and obviously took a loss. Okay, so there's that. And for like the quick overview, this is what I'm just going through real quick. And like, where's some other losing day? So bam. Okay, so here's whenever we did that, I believe it was an Iron Condor, took a loss. It just locks it all, or shows it all for you. Okay, so what about winners? Like this day was a pretty big day. Okay, so the main reason this day was so profitable was because of this. This was when we did that, we did a out of the money lotto style butterfly. And I know right now this doesn't help anybody, but it's just doing a quick overview of January, especially for those that were part of the small account mastery we did. So like this day was whenever we did that out of the money called butterfly, which we ended up closing for like 280% return, something like that. This was a quick hit trade that we got out for a small win. And then our JP Morgan, Oxy, Lockheed Martin, and Yeti trades that we all ended up closing. Okay, and like right here, I'm just looking at clicking through here some of the trades. So right here was a drama free trade. And right here, this was one of those, and I'll actually cover this. So for those that weren't with us in the small account mastery, so this was a overnight swing trade using ES futures options. So you still manage your risk very well. And just like it says here, like just for a quick trade, woke up the next morning with making 50%. So basically, like price, like it says here, price rallied up into this 3-month HVA. We have sell signals after it gapped down right here. And then price rallied and retested the daily point of control, which is this yellow line. And then we entered the calls and credit spread at the money. So you see how it is 10 wide, and we got $5 of credit for it. Well, that means it's a clear 1-to-1 trade. And I know some people may think that's not great, but you got to think about it like this: 1-to-1 means you could wake up with 100% return potentially. And we locked it up at 50%. Some actually held on for more and got better fill than me. It actually flushed all the way down. That's what's cool about this here. So we can, let's go here to, we'll just go 5-minute. Okay, there it is. Okay, I was like, where is it at? But here it is. That's what's cool about this. This actually plots it where you enter. Some people in the mastery actually got out way better than I did. I held on, and I should have held on, but I ended up getting out here. But so you see right here, the triangles, that's where we entered the position. And it moved all the way down. And then some locked it up in the morning down here for about 80% or 90%. I held on, but after this big move and then this catch, I was worried it was going to turn back this way. So I locked it up there for 50. But obviously, if I would have held, it would have been okay. But anyways, that's the overnight swing trade that we did. All right, now let's go over to February. How did we do this month? All right, so started off the month in the red. So we lost 350 here. Okay, so quick hitch trade we got shooken out of, small win there, and then did our, this was the Iron Condor that ended up shaking us out. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to point out is, so with all of, if it's a day trade, a 0 DTE trade, I am not going to review it in here because I have them all right here. I don't know what that's doing, but I reviewed them the exact day, so just match up the day and go watch it right here. So I'm not going to actually like waste your time and redo it, but if you do want to watch it, by all means, come watch them right here, and I actually recap it the day of, just so you are aware. So that's what this one was. So like I said, remember this is on February 6th, so that'll be Monday if you want to see that 0 DTE trade that we did on SPX. Now Caterpillar, I'm going to cover this because this was a swing trade we did. All right, so price pulled back to the 50-day SMA, and price was above the point of control since the bear market right here. So I'm leaning bullishly. And so here's the whole plan that unfolded. So here's an HVA right here, and I boxed it out, and you see this yellow box. The stop is down at 240, which shows right there. So basically, price came down to HVA and the 50 SMA, and this weekly HVA is holding. Now, what's the trigger to go long? The squeeze rotations firing to the upside, and then so we looked for it to go higher, scale out at 251 and targeted 258. But ultimately, what ended up happening, we scaled out at our first target. All right, so we got in here, scaled out here, and then that HVA that was right here that we scaled at was holding, so we got out right there. So small winner. I mean, overall it was only 200 bucks after commissions, 200, yeah. So sorry about that. My kid came running down the hallway. Had to see what was going on. Okay, so continuing. Let's see, was that Friday? Okay, that's when we opened it. Our German free trade. Okay, cool. Talked about that. And then overnight trade. Okay, we already talked about Monday. Sorry, I'm catching up from after I had to go deal with that. All right, boom. And then now Tuesday. What happened Tuesday? All right, Tuesday. All right, that's when we closed that last half of Caterpillar. And then we did a drummer free day trade as well. Like I mentioned, drummer free day trades are all down here. You can check them out. Or the 0 DT SPX trades. This one, open up Google and SPY. We have a SPY put calendar, and then open Google, which we stopped out on. And this was that really, this day right here was only like 20 bucks was, I believe it was this day where I got to only 2%. That was a Iron Condor day. And after doing that, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. All right, and 9. Okay, so another 0DTE trade, and then took the loss on Google. So Google, what was the trade on Google? I should probably only review them once they're closed. That way it's a little bit easier. Okay, so Google had that news with Bing happening. I didn't really think it was gonna be that big of a deal, but price dropped down to this monthly point of control. Larger time frames are already bullish. Starting to get rotations down at this level. And scrolling down, see here's the large 3-month HVA that I was looking to hold right at the 21 EMA. And so the way I was anticipating it coming down and doing was kind of holding and then going back up. Obviously, that was not the case. As the market went down, it obviously pulled it down lower with it. I ended up stepping out, just like it shows right here. Got out after commissions, roughly 600 bucks on the trade, but came in, tried to catch a falling knife with style, and just got cut a little bit. So yeah, lost there. And I believe that's it. This is gonna be relatively short, not a whole lot to cover because I already did all of the reviews of the day trades. And oh yeah, we have Chewy open. Actually, I can show you how this works too while we're at it. So we are in a Chewy position. You go to edit notes. Boom, bam. And then get my Chewy. You just drag over your screenshots. Okay. And what we're currently in, it shows them right here. So we have a 45.50 bull call spread, so a call debit spread. Looking for price to move higher. So Chewy did something really cool. It broke above the point of control for the bear market, right? And obviously this little node here, it broke out. It's coming back and retesting it at the 21 EMA, and I'm looking for price to continue higher from there. Scrolling on down, you can see larger time frames are bullish. Price is coming down to the monthly point of control from right here. And then there is squeeze rotations occurring down at this level. And then it reclaimed the daily point of control. So basically, in a nutshell, it's already broken out, pulled back to what I am considering a volume level of support, and looking for a price to hold and continue higher. And so we haven't done anything with it. We just got into it on Friday. But that's pretty much it. That's as far as the profits go for the week and what's been done so far in the year. And just a lot of 0DTE trades, which I review every day when they're closed. And then I also do a few swing trades, which has helped me. Doing the 0DTE trades helps me be a lot more picky on my swing trades, so it's really helped my win rate, being able to be that more strict on the trades. Now, so that's the weekend review, right? So we reviewed a few swing trades that we're in. If you wish to review the 0DTE trading I've been doing that produce some of these profits, they're right there on a click away from you, like right there. All you have to do is go and see them. Now, what about the prep for next week? So next week, on February 14th, the CPI is coming out. So being not overly set on any direction in the market, I think makes sense heading into this. So I think I'm going to mainly do some 0DTE trading into next week and lay out the swings until we get through the CPI. The core retail sales may not be overly too much, but we'll see. And then we have the PPI as well. So I might be just a lot of day trading this week. And I do have a few swings I am watching, and I'm about to cover those, and I'll show you why. But all that, the reason I mention all that is to be relatively flat while this economic data is coming out, because anything inflation related is certainly moving the market right now, and who knows how the market's going to react to it. I mean, you can be skewed one way or another. Just make sure you're hedged. For me personally, I want to be relatively flat and then just day trade, taking it day by day until it passes. All right, so now as far as for me, what are some things I am liking for swings? There's basically, if you watched the options premium video, if you have access to that with simpler trading, it's be pretty similar to that, but I mean, nothing's changed since then, so I've already done the work. So let's talk about it some. So first off would be, first let's look at XLF. So XLF is obviously in an uptrend. Yeah, it broke out above and is pulling back to the daily 21 EMA and was pushing up nicely. It's in a clear uptrend. It's obviously, it is also in a squeeze at the 21 EMA. So if the sector is squeezing and everything is looking bullish, so I was like, okay, what are some strong financial tickers that you could trade? I do like JP Morgan. This one I may hold through. I'm not in it yet, but the setup is just so clean. I really like it. So let's talk about it here for a minute. So let's look here. So obvious uptrend. It did hit this little node right here, but it's oscillating by it, and I think it's going to continue to push higher, at least towards potentially this point of control. Maybe 150 is a pretty solid target, right? So if 150 is a target and this looks like price wants to go higher, it's also in a squeeze. It's in a squeeze at the 21 EMA, and let's pull up my profiles. Okay. So I really like the way this is looking. So it's going to be on my watch list for Monday. So it does have earnings coming up as well. That's April, so you got plenty of time. Okay. So again, that's all squared away. All right, so this orange level right here is a HVA, which is a high value area or a high volume area. You see how price has pulled back to it and is starting to hold. The larger time frames are bullish. It's in a squeeze. It's pulled back to what I am calling I'm glad I trademarked this. It's probably already called that. I don't know why no one would, but it's basically volume level of support, and we're getting squeeze rotations at a level where I'm looking for volume to hold as support. So everywhere from a 10-minute up to the 2-hour time frame are all starting to squeeze to the upside. So support, larger time frame is bullish, squeezes and signals are going to the upside. So I definitely like this too. The upside, I'm not in it, like I mentioned, but it is going on my watch list. I might actually just put on an out of a money butterfly targeting 150 and seeing if it pops up there. I don't know, 3 weeks or whatnot. But those of you that are in the small account mastery with me will more than likely hop in this one and try to target 150. And those of you watching it on your own, I say trade it how you interpret it. All right, so JP Morgan is one. And then so I want to talk about, well, before I even talk about that, let's talk about oil. There we go. All right, so oil, if you check this out, like I mentioned earlier, here's my volume point of control, or yeah, the point of control for my bear market point of control. Sorry, like all over the place. It's right here. So you see we came down to it, bounced, came back to it, bounced, came back to it, and bounced. So, and we keep on oscillating at this 3-month point of control, which is this red line. So we're basically bouncing from point of control to point of control. I am personally looking for this box to break out to the upside and come back up to about 88 right here. So if I'm looking for this to hold and break out, I wanted to find a good oil ticker. Like XOM is already performing very well. The one I am that I'm liking that is in the good entry zone is Schlumberger. It was up a solid almost 5% on Friday. And once it loads, I will gladly show you it. But XLF, the financials, and XLE are the two sectors I'm looking at heading into next week. But like I said, day trading it is kind of what I'm looking for to do most until all the news passes. All right, so right here, here's a 3-month volume shelf or volume support. We broke out above it, came right down to it, and it held, and now it's pushing up. Great. So for me, this tells me buyers came in at about, we'll call this 52.50. Sure, why not? Okay. Now, if I think oil's going up, XLE is going up, and we bounced off a support and pushing higher, where would I want to enter this position? That is where I pull up my profiles. All right, so the profiles, I personally would like a pullback to go long into it, maybe down towards 55. I don't want to buy it where it's currently at, but what I am anticipating to happen, because this is last month's volume profile right here, as we're running right to the point of control, maybe get a pullback down back to 55 and then pushing back up is what I would like to see happen, because you see all the squeezes are going higher. The large time frames are all going bullishly, and then lower time frames are all also bullish. It is also in a squeeze that's catching a slingshot squeeze to the upside. So it's at the entry zone and a squeeze that is slingshotting to the upside. Green 10x bars at the 21 EMA, so on and so forth. It's a good entry for a squeeze, and what I think can actually maybe at least come up to 60. But obviously you don't have to see it. So if oil pushes, XLE pushes, and I think Schlumberger will go as well. But that is that's all I have for the very first weekend prep and review for the small cap mystery, folks. So everyone have an awesome day. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl game. Be safe, and I will see y'all again on Monday. Take care.